Have you ever felt like no matter how much you push yourself, you're stuck in an endless loop of work, burnout, frustration, never really feeling fulfilled? Well, today I'm going to share with you the secret to being successful without burnout. And the answer lies in something called absolute motivation. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to maximize your life, feel fulfilled, and spend more meaningful time with your family, all while growing your business. Now, why does burnout happen and how can absolute motivation prevent it? Let me start by actually defining absolute motivation. Absolute motivation isn't about just finding a spark of inspiration or watching energizing video. It's about having a deep internal drive that aligns with your core, your values, and your goals. Absolute motivation gives you lasting energy because it's built on purpose, not just external pressure to hustle and grind. Think of it this way. Temporary motivation might get you through a tough day, but absolute motivation keeps you going for years without losing sight of what truly matters. So why does burnout happen? Well, it's important to realize that burnout happens when your priorities are out of order and you're focused on the wrong things. Many times people are looking for motivation, they're trying to find some external source, but that's just not how it works. You may have temporary motivation by watching an inspiring video or getting some idea, but absolute motivation comes when you know what you want and you prioritize your life to that end. If you don't align all areas of your life so you can accomplish your priority, you'll actually get diminishing returns while sacrificing other areas of your life, wondering why you aren't making progress towards your desire. So understand that absolute motivation shifts focus from hustle to purpose. My first job out of school was back in the 90s, and I was making about $24,000 a year. In a matter of about 4 years, I moved up to six figures. And after a couple more years, I became CTO of a company. My focus was to advance my career. I didn't have kids at the time, and my mindset was that I had to hustle and grind to get ahead. When my first daughter was born, I tried to scale back my effort to be a present father. For some reason, I really didn't feel bad about not being there for my wife. I guess it's because I figured she was a grown adult like me. But having an infant changes you. And I knew I needed to do better. I needed to be there, not just for my daughter, but also for my wife. And I'd like to say that I didn't fall back into the hustle trap once again, but I've actually done that many times over the years. And even when my daughter was wrapping up her last year in high school, I found myself working 80 plus hours again. And I was helping a client launch a SaaS product, and promises of great exits filled my head. And I just told myself I was doing it for them. But the thing is, they never asked for it. So I was the one hustling and grinding for some future payoff. And once I lifted my head long enough to see what I was doing, God changed things. I went back to the basics and I asked myself, why was I doing any of this anyway? And it actually took me a couple years to get the answer to that question. But in the meantime, I did cut back the hours and I became present with my family again. So even if you can't figure out your absolute motivation immediately, you can have a general idea of what you want in your life and start heading in that direction. The goal here is to pursue fulfillment. It's not just financial success. It was after I stopped pursuing financial success and instead pursued actual fulfillment that, ironically, I actually became a millionaire. Once I started focusing on all areas of my life, I was actually able to unlock fulfillment. I still made sure to provide value to my clients, in fact, provided great value. I learned how to work more effectively and stop working on things that really didn't matter. I stopped having a scarcity mindset around time. I didn't wait for some magical thing to occur before I took action. In the past, I would say, when I get wealthy, that's when I'll get into shape. That's when I'll spend more time volunteering at church. That's when I'll go and see more of my kids' activities. But then I changed my actions to actually pursue those things to a greater degree. And as a result, I really didn't sacrifice anything meaningful on the financial side. I now actually have financial success, but more importantly, I have a great life. I'm truly grateful for how I get to live every single day. I get to help worn-out consultants unlock fulfillment for themselves. I love it. I get to spend a large portion of my time with my family. I'm still not fit, but I'm more fit than I have been in decades. Now, the question actually comes into, how does absolute motivation create sustainable life balance? Notice I didn't say work-life balance, because I really don't think there is such a thing as work-life balance. but there is a thing called life balance. Our lives are made up of 7 areas, the key area being faith. It's our purpose beyond ourselves. It's why we're here on this planet, and it's what we're actually supposed to do with our lives. So first you need to identify what truly motivates you. What is something that's bigger than yourself that gives you the strength to keep going even on the hardest days? Second, you need to set boundaries to protect your energy. There are some things you just shouldn't be doing. If something is draining you, determine how to either delete it or delegate it. Only surround yourself with supportive people. Outside of your immediate family, if someone is draining your energy, reduce the time you need to spend with that person. Focus your energy on items that motivate you, and if you can't spend most of your time there, then you need to determine what we need to change so you could actually start making those needed changes. Third, you need to focus on all 7 areas of your life. I created this proprietary system called Focus Echo Flow. It consists of 7 areas of your life. They're faith, which is the center area, and then the remaining 6 areas, they all hang upon that central pillar of faith. So the first half of the 6 are around relationships. They're family, friends, and fortune. Fortune's listed as relationships because it's critical not to use people, but to use money. Never use people to get money. Instead, use money to help people. And the second half are around you, yourself as a person. They're your foresight or mind. They're your fitness or body. It's your feelings or your soul. So the areas are faith, family, friends, fortune, foresight, fitness, and feelings. Now I should mention the whole reason why I even came up with the Focus Echo Flow was I realized that the subconscious, it'll keep you from achieving what you desire when you neglect other areas of your life. So Focus Echo Flow allows fulfillment to flow through every area of your life by focusing on what matters in every single area. If you only focus on 1 or 2 areas, then your subconscious will actually sabotage you from moving further. You'll stay stuck. It's counterintuitive, but the way to have major breakthroughs in one area of your life is to give appropriate attention to all areas of your life. So again, my faith is the central part of me. It's not an afterthought. It isn't just something I do. I'm not one who practices churchianity. I'm a Christ follower, and I attempt to die to myself every day. I don't die to myself every day, but I attempt to. Now, everything can crumble around me, but it is the Lord that gives me strength. It's because of the principles in the universe that He put in place that I'm able to live like I do. I knew I needed to be a better husband because of my faith, a better son, a better father. My absolute motivation is pleasing God. I know that it pleases Him when I'm a good father and a husband, and I will do good work for my clients. And it pleases Him when I'm filling my mind on good things. It pleases Him when I treat my body like the temple of God, like He says. It pleases Him when I have integrity in my whole being, feel complete and have congruency. For the longest time, I thought I shouldn't desire wealth. And while I knew it was the love of money that was the root of all evil and not money itself, I also knew it was harder for a rich man to get into the kingdom of God than for a real camel to go through a real eye of the needle. So because of this disconnect, I always wanted just enough money, just enough wealth, which is almost like having just enough health. Now, fortunately, after additional studying, I realized I was actually hindering financial success because of beliefs that I had around money. It wasn't too long after that I actually became a millionaire. Still, it took just readjusting some thought patterns and seeing that those dollars were simply pieces of green paper that showed I was of value to some people. Money itself doesn't matter. It's just a way to have a common way to trade value with one another. If I hadn't stopped focusing on being successful at work, I wouldn't have realized how much I was sabotaging myself with my internal thinking around money. But once I stopped focusing on being successful and focusing in all areas of my life, every single area of my life got better. Now, what are the long-term benefits of absolute motivation for success and fulfillment? Well, first, the journey becomes the reward. Now, even though my life continues to get better, I've definitely not arrived. And I'm not looking for some absolute end goal in all the areas of my life. Instead, I've learned that it's the journey itself that is the reward. And second, all areas of your life have to improve together. Instead of working on someday in the future, you need to live the life you want to live now. Don't wait until you found success in one area of your life to move to the next. Instead, determine the next level you want to get to in each one of these 7 areas and focus on that one thing. Third, you get to live life how you want and leave a positive impact on your family and your community. Not only will your day-to-day be much more enjoyable as you realize it's truly about the journey, you'll see that you're making progress in every single area of your life. While obviously some areas will improve faster than others, and some areas will get more attention than others in different seasons of your life, the key is that progress, even small progress, is being made in every area of your life. You can focus on the gain that has been made and not the gap of where your final destination is. By living this way, you'll be more fulfilled and you'll be more successful. You'll be more pleasant to be around and your family will love spending time with you. You'll be able to make positive impact on the world around you. Absolute motivation isn't just about forcing yourself to work harder or to hustle more or to grind more. It's about finding a deeper purpose that drives you to succeed without burning out. By focusing on what truly matters, you can grow your business, feel fulfilled, and enjoy more meaningful time with your family. Now, if you found this to be beneficial, be sure to check out my next video. It's called How Not to Ruin Your Life Pursuing Financial Success. So click here to watch it, and I'll see you in the next video.